Hi, I'm Katrina Boss with Fusion Tantra, and we are talking about spiritual sex and what's the first step we can take towards that. So, the first thing is to really realize that if you're watching this video, then there is something inside of you that knows that sex is supposed to be a whole lot more than just, well, what society tells us sex is. You know, you get in, you get out, orgasms, maybe it's lots of fun. But there's something deep inside that says, it's supposed to be so much more. It's meant to be deeper. We're supposed to have an experience of divinity and infinity. There's something else that's supposed to happen. Our chakras are all supposed to line up and start firing, and it's just supposed to be something a whole lot deeper. Tantra is much more than sex. It really is a way of interacting with the world and spirit, each other. But our sexuality is part of our day-to-day experience, it's part of our most intimate experiences, and it's actually great potential for really wonderful divine experiences. So, what's the first step? The first step is actually releasing all goals during a lovemaking session. Kind of like if you want to meditate. If you have a goal when you want to meditate, that I want to experience this when I'm meditating, you will almost 100% not have that experience. Unless your goal is to have a sore back or something like that. But if your goal is to have 7th chakra enlightenment in a meditation experience, the focus on the goal alone is what will get in your way. If you have no goals at all, especially if you give up believing that maybe it'll even happen, that's when the most amazing things happen in meditation. That's when you have an experience that you didn't expect. Something new happened. Something new happened in your consciousness. This is the very exciting experience for a spiritual seeker. So it's the same in sex. Most of us are trained that, well, we're actually not trained at all. That's the problem. And because we're not trained, we default to our primal desire to create children. And that primal desire, the goal, is ejaculation. And therefore our entire sexual experience is focused around that. We may have some fun along the way and be able to give each other pleasure, but the goal is still ejaculation, and there's a certain mentality and a certain focus there that keeps everything kind of in the physical. So imagine, first we just simply take out that goal. We take out the goal of ejaculation. And for a lot of people it's like, what? Why don't I want to ejaculate? That's crazy talk. It's the only reason I want to do it. And that's a very primal, basic wiring, because that's how we make babies, and that's how the next generation comes. But beyond that, once we're not having babies anymore, then we get to access what this entire amazing human form can actually do. This amazing energy being that we are, our emotional body, mental body, spiritual body. What happens when we release all goals there and the body relaxes and it starts to hum and it starts to vibrate? And then we come together with another beautiful energy body, and they also are relaxed and conscious and still. And then all of a sudden these two energy beings connect. It could be intercourse, it could just be eye gazing, it could just be simply being present with another person, and amazing things happen. And even in intercourse, even when you're being sexual with each other, without the goal of coming, without the goal of ejaculation, it immediately brings you into the present moment. It immediately brings you into a place where you're noticing things. You're noticing each other, you're noticing touch, you're noticing smell, you're noticing sound. And everything changes. And even if you are having intercourse, and you slow everything down and you become meditative and conscious, you actually resensitize your entire body. And you actually become more conscious of what's happening, and you feel more. And the more you play with it, And the more little things you do here and there, you will have experiences beyond these senses. Your bodies will vibrate. You will experience sensations that you never ever have experienced. Not outside of sex, and certainly not inside of sex. And there are things that unfortunately I can't explain to you because you really honestly have to experience them. In the same way that if someone says to you, well, why do you like to meditate, or why do you like to do yoga? You can say, well, it's relaxing and calming and that. But you really can't explain it to them unless they do it and they have their own experience. So this is the first step. It's just simply the next time you have an experience with another person, take away the goal. Just be fully present. Let all your focus be right now and have no goal at all. I mean, if you come, it happens. It's okay. It's not a failure. But imagine not having that goal and just seeing what happens. Because the truth is that orgasm and ejaculation aren't the same thing. They're very separate. We group them that way because we just know about having babies. But when we actually are present, releasing the goal of ejaculation, our bodies relax, and these beautiful orgasms actually fill our entire bodies from the top of our head to the tips of our toes. And it is truly a divine, amazing experience as we start to discover what these beautiful bodies are actually made for. So now going forward, this may just be enough for you to go home and practice this and go, I am so going to try this and see what happens. Perfect. It may also kind of, I don't know, wet your whistle or whatever to kind of say, wow, I'd really like to learn more. And I'll tell you, Tantra is a beautiful tradition. It's a beautiful tradition spiritually, and it's a beautiful thing to put into practice in every aspect of our lives, especially our relationships. So if you're interested in studying further, we have some lovely online courses. One is starting in March. It's an 8-week course on sacred sexuality, and you can study at home in privacy, anonymously, which is lovely. And there's an online classroom where you can ask questions and I can answer your questions and you can discuss your experiences with your fellow students across the world. And if you look below this video right here, there's a box and you can click there and find out all about it. And to the left of this video is a coupon code where you can get $30 off in the month of February if you sign up. And write it down because it's actually nowhere else on the website. So definitely write down the coupon whether you use it or not. But I highly recommend, regardless of whether you continue studying, to really take the practice you already know in meditation, in yoga, in whatever your spiritual discipline is, and bring that into your lovemaking. It's all the same. It just depends what we're doing. So, thank you for joining me. I'm Katrina Boss, and hopefully we get to interact further, maybe through blogs and discussions that way, or maybe through future courses or workshops or retreats. But one way or the other, thank you for listening. Bye-bye.